This is the new 2014 Dodge Durango. It's what they call a mid-cycle refresh, and they're holding the launch here in Southern California. For 2014, it gets a new exterior look, both front and back, new interior amenities, and a new transmission that brings this full-size three-row SUV up to date when it comes to improved fuel economy. Now, if you weren't familiar with the previous Durango, you might not notice the differences, but they are quite significant. First and foremost, the big screen here in the center console. This is the 8.4-inch Uconnect screen that you get on the Limited and above. Now, the base screen is the 5-inch, the same one that's in the Jeep Grand Cherokee. What all Durango have, though, is a configurable screen behind the steering wheel in the instrument cluster. This is totally customizable. You can put in their speed, navigation, trip computer, whatever you want, it can go in there. That comes on all of them. You'll also notice there's a rotary dial here in the center console. This changes the new 8-speed automatic transmission. It was first introduced in the Ram pickup truck. It was on the dash here. They've moved it here. This is very similar to the Jaguar Range Rover shiftable automatic that's rotary dial. You do get used to it after a very short period of time. It might seem a little odd at first. There's a big area here for your smartphone. You can plug it in. There's the USB jacks and what have you there. A couple of big cup holders. The other addition is a new steering wheel. Because they upgraded this Uconnect, the TFT screen behind here, the customizable screen, they had to update the steering wheel in order to operate all of that, so that's a nice upgrade as well. So those are the basic upgrades for the interior of the cabin, which is large, 3 rows. The one thing I do notice though, the rake of the windshield and the roof line seems a little bit lower than some other 3-row SUVs, but it goes along with the sporty look and feel of the Durango. What you'll notice in the back seat is the addition of individual screens for both passengers in the back seat. They store and they flip up. You can play different games or movies, and the jacks are actually on the side of the seat for easy access. You'll also notice captain's chairs, which are new for this generation of vehicle. You can still get a bench if you need to carry 7 passengers, but if you only need 6, that's a more comfortable way to go. The biggest change with this new Durango is the 8-speed automatic transmission, which gives a greater ratio of gears, so when the vehicle is under light load, it can go to a high gear to preserve fuel. When you put your foot into it, it drops 2 or 3 gears, that sounds pretty good, and gets you away no problem. I do notice when it's in higher gears with low RPM, there is a bit of resonant vibration inside the vehicle. Now, it's very different than the Mercedes GL that it's based on. The Mercedes has an air suspension. This has conventional springs and shocks, but the goodness of that GL platform is still here. I would say this vehicle ranks near the very top when it comes to driving dynamics because it has that great Mercedes platform, and when you get the RT version here with the bigger wheels and tires, it feels very planted and you can throw it into the corners with confidence. Engines available, the Pentastar 3.6 liter with 290 horsepower, but if you get the Rally version, you get a 5 horsepower bump to 295, and the Hemi has 360 horsepower. So you get a lot of variation with this vehicle. One of the greatest things about the Durango is its towing capability. All of the vehicles that are sold in Canada come with all-wheel drive as standard equipment, and you get 7,200-pound towing capacity if you get the Hemi. There's a couple of reasons a family would need to buy a full-size SUV like this. First of all, you've got 3 or more kids. You maybe don't like the idea of a minivan. Nothing wrong with minivans, but some people like a more macho SUV look. This definitely looks more macho than a minivan, and you need to tow. If you have a trailer, a boat, and you need to pull it, you need something with a little gusto. Now, in comparison, for example, the Explorer and the Pathfinder, which are less money, but they only tow 5,000 pounds. Even with the V6, this vehicle is capable of 6,200 pounds, and if you get the Hemi, the V8, 7,200 pounds. Best in class for towing. Now, the upgrades, the 8-speed automatic gives you greater efficiency and variety for different kind of terrain, and I would rank this vehicle right near the top when it comes to handling for full-size SUVs. It certainly has the looks. The interior is being updated and brings it up to today's standards. This really is a nice update for 2014.
Want more? Extended reviews of many of our segments are available online at drivingtelevision.com.